As Minecraft players, one of the most annoying things we deal with is organizing our inventory. Now, this is not very organized in the slightest. It looks like an entire mess, but then if you think that's bad, you should take a look at this chest over here. Look at how unorganized everything truly is. It does not look great at all, and that's what this video is about, because today I want to talk about how you can organize everything a little bit more, especially if you're in survival, because when everything is organized, it makes your life so much easier. Now, let me just go ahead and get rid of all this stuff because I really just do not need it in the slightest. In fact, I used it as an example. But yeah, this video will help you organize things a little better. It might not entirely fix the inventory mess problem, but it will certainly prevent it and make your life a lot easier. The first problem with this that you may face in your own survival world is that when you start out early on, you only have one chest for everything. And that is a big problem, especially when you're limited to the materials you have and what you can actually build in your world. For this reason, that is why I highly recommend building yourself a storage room, even early on in your survival world. If you can, build up all of the materials you need to make this storage room your first ever build in your survival world, then I would highly recommend it. Why? Well, this might just look like your average storage room, but as you can see, I've made it really nice. I've even put some water in here to make it a bit more visually appealing, but that's not the important part about it. The important part is these chests right here. Now, although they have nothing inside them, there are many ways you can organize these chests in order to figure out where you want to place certain blocks. I mean, just look at this storage room compared to, this one random chest in this room over here. This chest is being used for every single block in the game, whereas this storage room, you can literally phase out different blocks in different chests and have everything so much more organized. So great, you've built a storage room, what do you do next? It's very easy to look at all of these chests and wonder what to do with them all, but that's where the next important part comes in. If I grab an oak sign and then label this chest food, for example, you could use this one chest alone simply for all of your food and not put any other block inside of it. Or if you want to make this easier, there are so many different foods in Minecraft, you could entirely dedicate one section of the room to, different parts of your food and another section of the room to all of the blocks you want to use. For example, this chest over here could be, let's say 4 apples, and then you could place all of your apples in that chest. This chest could be for your steak, and yeah, you could basically label each chest for each different foods. Now, that might seem like a simple idea, and that is because it really is that simple, but many people simply don't do it. It's a very underrated strategy, and that's why the inventory mess problem is a really big problem. The only time-consuming part about this whole thing, though, especially if you're in survival, is getting all of the items for your chest. For example, let's just consider this as my chest for apples. I would have to fill up this whole double chest full of just apples. Now, if I'm in survival, that would take me ages to get all of those apples, but personally, I would rather go through the time and the energy to get all of those apples rather than deal with a messy inventory, and yeah, it will just make me feel horrible with that inventory problem. Oh wow, that was a long time. That has literally just took me 10 hours to do. By the way, instead of labeling these chests with signs, you could also do this with item frames. Let me go ahead and grab my item frame out of here. You could also do this with those, and I need an apple. I don't need a full stack, let me just grab one of them. So basically, all you want to do is simply place the item frame either above the chest you're trying to label, or you could even crouch down and place it on the chest itself, and then place the apple inside. Oh, sorry, how am I doing this? Okay, there we go. You could place the apple inside of the item frame, and that will tell you what chest is for what. So for example, this chest here could be dedicated for all of my apples. This chest here could be dedicated for my steak. Let me just go ahead and place that in there, and there we go. You could do this with every single chest in here. Like I said, you could even dedicate one side of the storage room simply just for all of your food, and then you could dedicate this side for like ores or materials or whatever it may be. And to be fair, this does not look neat than I expected it to. You could do this if you wanted. You could place like an apple in that one and a steak in that one, and then that will help you identify that both chests are for apples and steaks. So it's up to you how you want to do this. There are many different ways you could organize all of your chests, but it's up to you figuring out what the best one is and what the best option is for your world. And then last but not least, you could use bundles. Now, these bundles were introduced in the Bundles of Bravery 1.21.2 update, and they're actually very underrated. As you can see, I have things in my cyan bundle and my white bundle, you could only use a stack, or sorry, you can only place a stack of items in each bundle, so make sure you have plenty of them. But yeah, as you can see, my purple bundle is empty right now, so I'm going to go ahead and place some random things inside of there just to show you how cool these really are. And then if you want to, once you've filled up an entire bundle, let me just go ahead and do that really quick. There we go. This bundle is now full. You could even dedicate an entire double chest to all of your bundles, which means instead of having, a chest full of blocks or whatever it may be, you could simply just place all of your bundles inside of here and you can take them with you wherever you go. Again, it doesn't entirely fix the inventory problem. That's the reason they were introduced in the first place, because many people had problems organizing their inventory. And although it doesn't entirely fix it, it certainly makes your life a lot easier. I really should use bundles more often. I know a lot of people don't for that reason. Oh, and by the way, a quick pro tip about bundles, you can actually rename them certain things. So if you want to, you can organize the bundles within the chest themselves, which is like double organization standards. And of course, let's not forget all of the other storage options, such as the barrel, which to be fair, I don't really use them that often. I prefer double chests. Or you could have the ender chest, but obviously that is only exclusively accessible to you, which in that case, if you are playing on a survival world, which only you are playing on, that would not be a massive issue. But the only problem with ender chests is you can't turn them into double chests, and I think singular chests are probably not the best option, especially if you are looking for good organization in your world. You should always go for double chests. The exact same could be said for barrels, by the way. You cannot make them any bigger. If I place one barrel next to another barrel, it's simply just two barrels, separate to each other. You cannot make them any bigger to what they are already. So basically, if you want to organize all your items, double chests are the way forward, because eventually you will literally have hundreds of barrels that you simply don't know what to do with. And yeah, that would just make your organization worse. So there you have it. This was a bit of a random video, but I really wanted to talk about this a little bit more in depth, because I myself, especially in the past, haven't really organized, all of my items in my survival world as much as I wanted to. And yeah, now I'm doing so, and I thought I would share these tips in order to help you out as well, because I know a lot of people struggle with organizing their inventory or chests or whatever it may be. If this video helped you out, make sure you give it a like and share it with your friends. Also, I have some videos on screen right now that I really need you to watch, so make sure you go over there, leave a comment on them, and I'll be responding to every single one of you.